Hello, all.
Congrats on the win there, man.
Thank you very much.
Are you excited to have this one kind of out of the way, just kind of the bad blood that was going on, and now you're on to something that, as you said, inside the cage against a guy that you respect as opposed to a guy that you have?
Yeah, 100%. It's out of the way, but you know what? In all honesty, it's not done. And somewhat happy, obviously getting the win. But you know what? The way it finished, I'm not happy with, and it might mean actually bringing this fight to the UK in future.
When you say not done, you mean the beef between you two is not done?
Oh no, that's. Oh yeah. I'm not happy with my performance. I'm proud of myself because it wasn't just a physical battle in there. It was a mental battle. It's been very difficult since Christmas, and just being able to even train for this fight and just being here and getting in the cage. It's been extremely difficult. So I'm proud of myself for doing it. Still not happy with the performance. I made a lot of mistakes myself. At the same time, I told you guys he was a bitch, man. He didn't really want it. He was talking all this stuff about being able to knock me out, and he ran the whole first round. And then all he wanted to do is play groundwork, play wrestling. And like I said, I made a lot of mistakes. This guy's a veteran in terms of the the amount of times he's been in that cage. This is my first 5-rounder, and I was physically better than him, physically stronger than him, still going even in the 5th round, and he was dying. He made some terrible mistakes in the 5th round. That definitely allowed me to kind of regain and capitalize and then take over. But it's been difficult.
Michael, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Could you explain a little about maybe how disappointed you are that you haven't been able to show to the American audience, what you're capable of because of tonight?
You know what? If people don't know what I'm capable of, then they haven't been paying attention. But yeah, again, another difficult night. A very tough opponent. I give him my respect. He's a veteran in the game. He understood that, regardless of all the talk, he understood that he can't stand with me. He knew that from the beginning. He came in with a different game plan. But I also felt like he kind of burnt himself out, because that's not really his game either. He was holding on to me for dear life. There wasn't enough activity on the floor. I didn't really feel in danger at all off my back. He was just holding me. So I understand why the judges gave me the rounds and a bit more active, still wanting to fight from start to finish.
So you're going to almost request to Scott Coker that you guys get to do round 6 to 10 back in the UK, yeah?
I would love for that to happen. Like, I want him on his back. You know what I mean? I was chasing that knockout from the beginning, and as I said, he was trying his best to avoid it, not just being very defensive, very inactive. And I think it'll be good for all the UK fans. It's something that they missed anyway. So yeah.
And finally, from me, can you just talk about, with a little bit more depth, about how difficult it has been to stay focused, to go through an entire camp with the passing of your father, who was obviously so important to what you actually do now?
The only reason I'm able to do what I do is because of that man. He's an amazing person and an inspiration to many of people. His funeral alone, if people could have seen that, it was unbelievable. The last 4 years for my family, it's been difficult, and I've just constantly been able to, push it to one side, get in the cage. There's a lot of people out there that try to tarnish his reputation towards the end of his time here on Earth, and it didn't affect anything, but it was very stressful for our family. Very stressful for me. A lot of things was happening behind the scenes, and I was still getting in the cage and still doing what I was doing. But this one was the hardest thing, the absolute hardest thing for me to do. Like I said, I was physically there, and like I said, I felt like I had the fitness to keep going. I had the fitness in there, and it showed. But it was just, I was making a lot of bad decisions, and it just, I was just a little bit cloudy, a bit more so than usual. I'm not going to blame it on that. It's too much of an easy excuse, but I wasn't quite myself. But I'm happy I still managed to get that victory, and I can move on and learn from it, and just put that behind me now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael, going into when they're going to read the decision, how did you feel? Did you feel confident that you had won the fight, or were you playing through it in your mind and wondering? Kind of help me a little bit with that.
I just hate decision in general. I hate going like that. I've done it 2 other times now, aside of this one, and every single time you just don't know what the and even the last one with Fernando Gonzalez, one of the judges scored like it was absolutely ridiculous. I don't believe I really got hit in that fight. For them to even score so one-sidedly in that fight, I just hate going to decision. And like I said, I was chasing the win. I was going for the win. He wasn't. He just wanted to play it safe and just get past me. And you can see that. And I'm glad the judges could see that I was fighting from start to finish.
Is it any more satisfying to get this win as part of the Grand Prix, because you haven't just beaten Daley, you've taken away his shot at the title, and it might have been his last one?
Yeah, I said this from before. Where does he go after I beat him? Seriously, where does he go? I don't believe honestly, I believe he should retire and just be done with it, because he's not good enough. His gym is a sham. Anybody in Nottingham or Newcastle, wherever the hell he lives, don't ever go there. He overcharges and underdelivers the same way he did here. Underdelivered, and I don't see him going anywhere. The reason why he's been at the level that he is because he can't get past the top echelon of the sport. He reminds me of Arsenal. Sorry, Paul.
Michael, congratulations on the win and play right with Jim. It's going to get tougher from here on out. You've got Gracie, you've got Fitch, you've got McDonald, Logan, Storr. These are all wrestlers. They saw this fight probably went, we can take him down easily. Do you start moving your camp now to more of a wrestling-based camp? Maybe work out with American Top Team or AKA maybe some gyms where every day it's wrestling, so that when you take on these guys, they can't just take you down, hold you down, and beat you because they control the fight.
Yeah, I've got to improve in certain areas. Like I said, I made a hell of a lot of mistakes in my wrestling. I think that's what I was most disappointed about. Certain mistakes that just made it seem a bit way too easy that I just wouldn't normally do in training. We've got some amazing wrestlers in London, shoot fighters, amazing jiu-jitsu guys in London, shoot fighters. Like I said, it was a little bit cloudy today, and also didn't expect him to do it. I thought he was going to try. I did actually think he was going to be a bit more defensive initially, and then start to come out of his shell later in the game, but actually going for, striking. He didn't. Like I said, he tried to play it safe, and I made a few mistakes. And yeah, 100%. This is a wonderful game, man. You always have to keep improving, regardless. There's so much to learn, and there's so much to improve on. And I enjoy being a student, and I love to progress. And 100%, you'll see the difference in the next fight.
And you've been any thoughts towards the Lima fight? Any opinions or initial thoughts on that?
Same thing I said in there. It'll be an honor to share the cage with him. I think he's an amazing athlete. He's a lovely person. It'll be complete difference going into this fight.
And how different is it to go into a fight, where you eat the guy versus a guy that you really respect?
It's the same thing. I didn't try to change myself. I wasn't emotional in there. Like I said, it was just there's a couple of decision makings during the fight that I was just very lax on, but I was still myself. I just wasn't the best version of myself, in my opinion. And it'll be the same in this. I'm going to come in and just this time be the better version of myself. And like I said, I'm going to be improving. I'm going to be working hard. I've got a short trip away with the family, with my missus, and it's straight back to work after that. we're going to get it straight away. And like I said, I'm going to come back a better version.
Michael, you got out wrestled the second and third round. Then you had this moment where Daley was leaning over the fence, and I saw you turn around and you smiled like you knew you had him. And then you won the wrestling exchange in the fourth round to get the victory. What was going through your mind that time when you saw him leaning over Daley?
I looked back and I said, he's tired. I looked over there and it's weird, I teach as well, so it's something I always say to my students. You never die in front of your opponent. You know, you go back to the change room, you can collapse and throw up and do all of that. But no matter how tired you are, you never show it. We have animal instincts when we're in there. I smelled blood. I turned around and saw him hanging on the cage. He didn't really want to be there. And I smelled blood, and straight away, it just gives you that extra adrenaline boost and energy in your muscles are ready to go out, and that's probably why everything started changing.
Similar question. It's 2-2 heading into the fifth round. He gets a takedown early in the round. You're on bottom. What's going through your mind knowing that you have to get up and you're going to have to reverse the position? What's going through your head?
Again, it's trying not to panic. A lot of people would, panic in that situation. You burn out a lot more of your muscles, and then probably end up the whole 5 minutes, and it can go very quickly sometimes just on your back. I just like to take my time. There's going to be opportunities for me to get back up, go for a couple of submissions to create some space, get back up, and try and turn things around.
My last question for you, very similar to the other two I just asked. First round, we haven't expected you guys to come out swinging, and he's coming back retreating. What's going through your brain then?
I was just laughing because as he was doing it, like I said, I was saying to my coach as well, I kind of expected him to be very defensive, not that much so, but I did expect him to be very defensive initially. Through some of the things that he had said in his press conferences and his interviews, he was talking a lot about different fights that I've had and tactics that he had, and I kind of assumed that he was going to do that. I just find it funny because I didn't think it was going to be to that extent.
Thanks, Mike. Michael, it looked like at the end of the fight there was some calculation on your part to, shake hands or better make up or whatnot. Have you guys at all ever had any words after?
Yeah, definitely. I called him a little bitch, and because I believe he's a bitch. He's been talking about knocking me out, and he was scared to throw punches, and I've been saying it the whole way through. He lies a lot, and some people believe it. I've been real from the beginning. I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. He's very, he contradicts himself a hell of a lot. He hates me, then he thinks I'm an amazing fighter, then he thinks I'm not good enough, then he thinks I'm an illusion, and he's just like, he's back and forward all the time. I didn't like him, and yeah, he's a little bitch.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.